machine or a 64-bit machine. It's the same installer that adapts to the environment it's going to install. And also the Windows client is run by a MSI installer directly. File Gateway as a service. We did that in 6.3 SR1 as a last minute change, but we have now really launched it in 7. Margrethe will tell you about that. And one of the most important things, I think, with this is that we now have made it possible to scale your solution to what you want it to be. You can have everything based on one installation of the web client, using Pocket CRM, using customer service, having no batch services installed. So you can have one tiny installation of SuperOffice for all our products, using the same net server, not a standalone installation of net server. And you can divide it into as many parts as you want. You can have 15 net servers and 20 web servers and 8 batch services going on different computers in any environment you want. So it's really up to you. And it's not mostly because we have so huge amount of users on any site. It's because environments are different. Security models are different. The things they want to lock out through firewalls, stuff are very different. But now, through installers, normal setup through tools and SuperOffice, you can choose and do this in a custom manner. It's no more copying, right-clicking on the Internet Information Server and doing some magic tricks. It's just following installers all the way. Christian will talk about our centrally managed licenses. So customers don't really need to have their license key code in their drawer to find it every time they have put the backup back to have a new license code and haggle about that. Taking 3 days when they change their company last 3 names of a company name. You can do that online directly now. We will have built into the client installer that if a new version is installed on the network, every client that starts SuperOffice will suggest that you upgrade it. It will not prevent you from going on with your old version, if that's possible, but it will suggest you to upgrade them there. Many administrators have said that I don't want to pay 5 licenses just because our 5 IT people from time to time is in there adding a new list item in SuperOffice. And I totally agree with you. So there is no longer any use for a SuperOffice Windows or user license to log into the admin client in SuperOffice. To log in, you can log in as a system user in the admin client. And system users are automatically installed when you install SuperOffice. We have put in multi-language support for templates, meaning that if you have one template called letter, you can put them into different folders. So you can have an English letter, a Norwegian letter, a Danish letter, and a Swedish letter in 3 different folders, and only one list in the template list in SuperOffice, making this list a bit shorter and easier to manipulate. And we have also made it possible for each user to choose their own language installed. Within the Windows client, you can go into the file menu and say change language and choose one of the installed languages. No need to run and screen for where is the SOuser.ini located at this machine at this time and so on. So these are some of the things we have changed, and we will get the details behind every one of those because it's quite interesting when we do integrations. So, sale management in 7. We have, as I said, 60% of the users are working in some kind of sales. And throughout the years we have collected these needs when it comes to salespeople. People that are working on sale would like to focus more on this specific sale. We have a lot of opportunity going on at the same time. I want to be able to keep all these opportunities going at the same time. It's hard to get an overview when I've been away from a sale for 3 weeks or a month, to get back and get the overview. What's happened, where did I leave it, what's the next step, and so on. And people say also that, okay, it's good to register a sale in SuperOffice, but I need help to ensure progress in that selling process. I would need to get help on what's the next thing I should do now. Help me. Not tell me, but help me. It's also, people say, I want to stall the sale, park it safely away because someone has postponed the decision, and keep working on other things. And when the time comes, I want you to wake me up again and say, now it's time to start working on the sale. And on top of that, people say that it's good to support a selling process. That's not the case in our company. We have 5 good sales processes, depending on what department is selling, depending on what products we are selling, and depending on if this is new customers, existing customers, partners. We have different types of selling in SuperOffice. And the result of this is what we call sale management in SuperOffice. Most systems call this opportunity management, and that's really what it is. Selling in SuperOffice is most of the time before you get the order. When the order is gone, then it goes into the ERP system. So this is actually opportunity management, but some people are very used to the term sale in SuperOffice, so we kept the name. It's still a sale management. So the first thing we did was to give the user the possibility to focus on one sale. And the way to do that was to get sale as a... Did they clap? Yeah, they heard it. Microsoft saw that. Yeah. So the possibility to focus on one sale and the activities and documentation that has to do with this sale. And only those who have to do with the sale. All things others that I have done with this customer shouldn't distract me when I'm looking at this sale. The next thing we did was, the problem was that SuperOffice has a sale date. And the sale date indicates when do you think you will have this order. And so we reminded you when you said you would have this order now, but you didn't. Then we put it up in the checklist and stuff like that. That's too late. Because if you are in the middle of your selling phase and you already should have sold it, you are guaranteed to have lost it. We have introduced something we call a next activity. And if you see here in the list the next activity over here that is not completed, this is the list of activities completed. See it better? The 16. That will automatically be printed up on the customer card. So every sale contains now a date that is next activity date. And you can't change it. The only way to change it is to change the activities. But that is the next time I should do something about this sale. And that's what we try to solve, helping you keeping all the sales up and running at the same time. We introduced something we call a sales secretary. I have a picture in my head of a sales secretary, but ours looks like this. This is a list in a diary, sorted by next activity of a sale. So it gives you actually a list of sales, prioritized in what order you should work on them according to the next activity date. Meaning that this one is red, I should already have done something with this sale. The next one is here, next one is there. So I can just go into the top of the list, do something, return to the list, do something with the ones that are on top there, return to the list, and have a kind of to-do list for salespeople. This is how to keep progress on all planned sales I have. You could almost think that it's solved for you also, but you have to plan the activities. That's the downside of it. But this is what we call, and I think that salespeople would stay more in this list than they will in their checklist today. Because this is where the money is, this is how to ensure progress on the sale that you have going at the same time. The last thing we introduced, or not the last thing, but one of the other major things we introduced is what we call a sales guide. And a sales guide is a checklist of what you should do, what is our company's best practice when it comes to selling a sale of this type. In this case, it's like this. When I have a new campaign, then I usually have these 5 stages. For each stage, I have a set of activities and documents I should produce to ensure progress, to ensure reaching the next stage, and eventually selling. And it's not by force, because people can enter what they want into the system, just lying. I've done that. But this is a checklist that suggests that we recommend that we're now in the proposal phase. These are the 2 activities you normally do in that phase. We can create them for you. We have various types of these sales. As you see here, we have the sale for the campaign, and I have these 5 stages. And I work with them and I say, okay, I've finished with that one. Then it asks, okay, I see you finished this one. Do you want to move on to the next stage? Yes, I would like to do that. You're now going to do something in this stage. You're now in the proposal phase. These are the next things you would like to do. You can turn off these stages. This is what is a total thing of all things I should do in a sale. But it's better to keep it phase by phase at the moment. Let's see, this is a typical process for a new campaign. You could have something called a services. Then I have 2 steps and 2 totally different set of things I would like to do to go there. And this is meant as a guide, because when people return to a sale trying to think, where did I leave this sale and what is the next step? That's the first thing they think. They can look once at this screen and they say, okay, I have confirmed the request. I should now prepare and send confirmation. That's the next logical step to do. And the customer calls and now I want to right away. Okay, then you go to verbal accept and keep on the process. You don't force it to go click, 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 just to go further in the process. You can decide for yourself to go forward or backward in the process, but it's a guide on how you usually do it. So that's when it comes to different types of sale and the sales guide. Yeah?
Is there any possibility to highlight certain elements?
No, not at the moment.
Because we have one customer where in their sales process, which is defined, there are certain elements in each step where they say, if you're fast tracking this, these 3 are the most important ones.
Yeah, I see your point. So at the moment you have focus on the experience that we have is that you should only have fast track items here. Because if you are so controlling that you need to have 35 steps in going from one stage to another, you need to rethink your selling process. That's wise as a kind of answer, but it's something to it. Okay. So that's when it comes to various types of sales. So when it comes to sales, remember, one card with a complete overview of activities and documents linked to this specific sale. The sales secretary working with the next due date to present you with the sale that you should be working on, and the sale guide that helps you keeping progress in your sale. So that's the basic one. Kirsti will go into detail with every feature or function for those of you who attend that session. Next. Selections is important. Do you think the sales thing is good?
Yeah.
If I stand in long enough, everyone will know, right? Oh, selections is element. I will try to go into the internet and find a picture of selections. That's almost impossible. This was the closest one I get. That's what selections is all about. We got these parts of feedbacks that people want to solve. We want to build, today you can build lists of contacts, dynamic or static, the selections. But we want to be able to build a list of any things, any entity that you have in SuperOffice. use them as folders, containers, archives of information that is related. Someone wants you to use them as stored searches that they can come back to all the time, like a list of open sales to track their pipeline at any time. When it comes into the marketing department, they say we need more powerful segmenting than we have today. We need to be able to pinpoint more exactly, in a more easy way, what the selection can contain, because we want to do marketing activities together. And then sometimes we want to compare lists, comparing two selections, finding differences or similarities. And that again can be used to analyzing data and make plans for action, follow-ups, creating activities towards certain lists of data. It's all very fuzzy. It gets more concrete when you look at it. This is a selection of sales. This is, as you know today, selections of contacts that are dynamic. You can specify some criteria, and then you have it. In this selection, I have a dynamic selection of sales, where status is open or stalled, or an I am the owner. Then you get this list of sales. That's useful. What can I do with that? I can use it to navigate, for example. I can use it to, go back. But just building this list isn't all that interesting. You can export it to Excel and make a pivotal table of it if you want to, or something like that. Could be useful. But what you often really want to do is you want to do something with these contacts. And therefore we build something we call a shadow selection, in lack of a better word. So every time you have a list of something that is potentially linked to a person or a company, we build something called a shadow selection, giving you a list already with only these companies that are linked to these sales. And then you can start doing tasks, doing mailing, doing follow-ups and those kind of things. So we only have to build the selection of the entity you want, and you get for free the shadow selection with the companies that you can start doing things. So building and navigating selections in SuperOffice are quite easy. So I here have a selection called My Open Sales. I can very easily go into my sales tab and say I would like to see these sales and navigate through them. Going through my open sales one by one, working with them, using them as a to-do list. It's very easy to do. I can also try to do other things with them. When it comes to selections, I have one set of tasks I can do with the sales for itself, but another set of tasks I can do with the companies. Here I can start making activities. You can have other type of selections that could be useful. I have here a selection called Seminar Attendees 2001. Why do I call it Seminar Attendees? Okay, I have some projects, as you can see. This is a dynamic selection of projects that are of a type seminar, where the event date was this year. Very simple. Oh, I only have 2. Are they useful? Not in itself. But it's useful to click on companies, because then I get all project members who have been attending those seminars. Then I can start doing something with these project members, invite them to a third seminar, maybe. Let's say that your boss comes to tell you, Eric, I would like to have a list of everyone that has been on a seminar this year. And you say, yeah. 3 clicks and I've done that with SuperOffice. Then it comes, but I would only like to have decision makers. I don't care about the rest. I would do something with the decision makers. Then you need to think. Okay, I already have a list that I usually use when I'm going to do something with decision makers. It's the easiest selection in the world. It's a dynamic selection where contact interest is decision maker. But I want only those here that have been to a seminar. How do I do that? I call a guy in a white suit that does this SQL tricks, and after 5 days he comes up with a list and tells me, these are the 2 you need. Jesus, no. You go in and you create what we call a dynamic selection. A combined selection. A combined selection is a selection that combines 2 selections. And here I've said that, okay, the result in my selection should be companies or contacts. I want to compare this project selection with this company selection. But since this is a project selection, I will focus on the shadow selection for this company. So, project members, compare them. Give me who's been in both. One click, and I have the list of everyone who's been to any seminar that I've arranged that also is a decision maker. For 2 more days, I can show you how you can get only decision maker who has not been on the seminar. So I can do that by 1, 2, 3 clicks, I think. Only in selection 2. These are the 4 persons who is only decision makers but has not been on any seminars. So this is how easy and powerful you can segment things in SuperOffice with selections. What can we use this for? 3 questions. You can use them with our new e-marketing model directly. Maybe these 4 who didn't attend, maybe we should take those who attended. This is what I need. Most of the need comes from the people who have tried to do a mail merge with 10,000 documents in SuperOffice using Outlook. It's perfect with 100, with 1,000 goes. This is a professional-looking e-marketing tool. It sends you professional-looking mailings, HTML mails, advanced that looks personalized to each one. It scales to a large segment of contacts. You can send 10,000 emails starting 12 o'clock this evening. You can track changes and update info. So if people open the mail, you get a response and say he actually read it. He clicked that link inside the mail, so you can trace that. Try to see behavior and collect information about that. You can direct feedback from this to the right person. You can say, this mail appear that it comes from Gisle. It's actually, when you press reply, it will send it to the customer care department. Getting our customer service application to get it up and spread it across those who should attend it. It gives you statistics on delivery. It tells you about bounces. Who did bounce from this email, which email addresses are no longer valid, and you can start to schedule at any specific time. So it's a relaunch of a new and improved e-marketing model, inserted to our CRM and marketing users. That means that people no longer need to know that they have an e-journal installation or customer service installation installed on their server. They see it here in SuperOffice. Okay, here I have e-marketing. Then you have a set of mailings that you can start to work with. Say, I have started with something called a newsletter in December. Then the construction, I would like to create a professional looking mail. I can choose from one of my templates. The templates is like this. These are templates that we provide that is getting installed by default. Of course, templates or documents or newsletters aren't that, you can't prepare them really. You can prepare the look and feel of them, but you can't prepare the content of them. That would be stupid. Let's say alternative, colorful was the one. Okay. You can get in and change the text. You'll here get a with pictures that are free to redistribute, with some examples on templates, links, the thing in the top where you can customize it. So it contains all a professional newsletter should contain. You can make your own templates. You can modify these templates and save them to use them for later. The idea is to give you a very quick start on professional looking with a good look and feel. When I've done that, I can add plain text, I can add attachment, if I want to send a price list, and I can do a test thing. I want to test how this will end up in my own inbox to see if it looks good. And I've added some links or images or stuff like that not in there. So you have a lot of things here. You can also you can specify even the header in the main file if you want to do something nasty about it. So you have your email. It's just then to start the mailing to send it out. And you can see how many emails should be sent per minute so you don't choke your mail server. You can say, who am I going to send this to? Any idea? Yeah. Should not be a drop down here. Isn't that? What was it called? Oh, if I go out now, I lose everything, don't I? If I go to my selection, what happens? Do that. No, it's back here. Sometimes it come a drop down here. I can specify the sender. I can specify the reply. Let's see if I can do this now. Which reply should I log it and how this should be turned out. So I can actually specify using any selection I have in SuperOffice, even though if it's a shadow selection or a combined selection or any type of selection I've defined, I can use here as a list of recipients from my mails. And I had here ones that I've already done. Let's see, it was this newsletter. Here are the tracks that you can see. Who downloaded images, who have read the first 48 hours, the bounced lists. So you can get some statistics from it. So with that professional, powerful tool for selecting who you are going to send to, and that powerful tool for sending out to, I think the e-marketing departments around Norway or around Europe will give a wave, won't they? Yeah. And that's not all. Moving into customer service. Yeah, almost a touch. Again, these are the needs. You have seen them, you probably worked with them. How many of you have worked with eJournal as a product? Hands up. Good. Because this is a relaunch of eJournal. We use the opportunity when we launch in 7 to relaunch eJournal again towards our existing users. Because they don't know about eJournal very either. It's changed the name. It's now called SuperOffice Customer Service. And it's sold as a module to SuperOffice. You don't have to buy the server anymore. It's included in the SuperOffice CRM server. And you only buy licenses for the user who's going to do it. We have done this by merging this into one database. So I will go through this in details in the similar session on Friday. So I'll not steal all the candy. But the main point of doing this is for users to share information, to get a 360 degrees view or the possibility to collaborate. Example. I'm here on the company, someone calls me and I would like to see what's happening on the service. If I have a customer service installed on this database. I don't need to be a user. I can get total overview of everything that's happened when it comes to service requests from this customer. It's only one cloud. I can click on it, double click on it, and get some details about the requests. Now NetServer has taken a break from my computer, but that's okay. We'll just wait. Have a sip of drink. Let's see why this is cancelled. Oh, didn't help that much. I really need that up and running now. So let's see what's happening when I disk. Yeah, it's up and running, so while this happens, I'm not main page. By the way, this is EW in the new look and feel. How it looks today in SuperOffice. The way we did. Wouldn't come up, so I can. Sorry. I can here see exactly the same things as I get inside. What happens if I say edit? Edit cuts. Okay, so I can from within the SuperOffice get a detailed list of what's happened with these requests. If I have a user license for customer service, I can click on edit and it will take me into region from that specific case. So I can start working with it. I can answer questions, I can solve it by here and then. So this is how we inside SuperOffice can see what has happened with customer requests inside EW. Customer service. Okay, another situation, I come here and say, I come to a company by accident and it has a status monitor. What does this status monitor says? Yeah? This status monitor says, this customer has an open support request with the support team. You can warn the people when they get there. So if you come to here as a salesperson, you can get warned and say, there are open issues here. Go and see what they are before you take contact. And you can go and read the details about them. On the other way, you can do the totally opposite. You can you can customize your EW settings to say, I would like to add new status monitor on a request. Okay, this is done. So when a support person goes in your request, it can automatically see that, okay, it should be a background and more subtle, but you see the point. They can get warned. They can get warned. This would be a watermark on the request or the ticket. But they can get warned that something is happening on sales that I should know of. Maybe I should pay special attention and be extra nice because he's about to close this huge deal. So that's a way that you can cooperate together. You can get this customer has no more one or more open large sales pending. So you can reuse the status monitor across these two platforms, trying to inform each other. So we share the same contacts, we share the same selections, we share the same user definitions, we share the same tickets. So everything is inside one system. You have just two different applications to view them in slightly different manner because they have two different work tasks, two different professions. So, to round this up, I hope through these examples and storytelling that you have been able to agree with me on that SuperOffice should be giving features and functions to our existing users and attracting users who already on SuperOffice users. It's a tool for sales professionals. It's a tool for marketing professionals. It's a tool for service professionals. And it enables these professions to cooperate better than they used to. Something for the IT department, and it's all presented in a new look and feel. That's it. Thank you.